They will call you the villain, and in their eyes, you will be a blight upon their world. Let them speak their venomous words and cast their judgments. Let them write you into their stories as the dark shadow that moves against the light. For to be the villain is to accept the role no one else will play, to step into the abyss and emerge unbroken. It is to see the beauty in your own darkness and refuse to be diminished by their desperate need for heroes. In your defiance, there is a power they cannot comprehend, a refusal to conform, to silence the chaos that burns within you. The world will try to shape you into something it can understand, but you are the thing that resists, the thing that will not bend to fit the mold. You are the wild heartbeat of the storm, the pulse that echoes through the dark. It is a dangerous thing to be the villain. It is to stand on the edge of the world and look down into the black maw of the unknown, knowing that the fall will not break you. It is to hold the blade to your own chains and sever them, to bleed for your freedom and call it sacred. The villain is the one who dares to break the silence, who shatters the stillness with the raw truth of their existence. They will call you mad, they will call you cruel, but they cannot see the fire that burns in your eyes, a fire that refuses to die, no matter how they try to extinguish it. Heroes are born of obedience, of playing a part in a story already written. But you, the villain, are something different. You are the one who writes in blood and ash, who carves your own name into the bones of the world. You are not concerned with being understood, with being loved. You do not live for their applause, and that is why they fear you. For you are free in a way they will never be, unburdened by the weight of their expectations. The villain does not seek permission. The villain claims what is theirs by right. They will speak of you as if you are the darkness itself, as if your very existence threatens the fragile light they cling to. But what is darkness, if not the place where the truth can be seen? Without the blinding glare of pretense. The night reveals the stars while the day hides them. The villain understands this. The villain knows that what they call darkness is simply the world stripped bare, the world in its purest, most honest form. And so you walk unafraid into that night, for you know it is where you truly belong. You will find a strange kind of freedom in the role they assign you, a freedom that comes from embracing your own nature without shame. Let them call you wicked. Let them paint you in the deepest blacks, because you are not made of their fragile notions of good and evil. You are something else entirely. You are the wolf's howl at the moon, the serpent's unblinking gaze. You are the fire's crackle and roar as it devours the old and makes way for the new. The villain is not defined by their hatred. The villain is defined by their refusal to be bound. It is not your task to make them understand. It is not your duty to soften your edges for the sake of their comfort. Let them tremble at the sight of you. Let them recoil from your unyielding truth. You owe them nothing. The villain does not seek to justify, does not beg for acceptance. The villain knows that to seek their approval is to betray oneself, to become a shadow of a shadow. You are not a shadow. You are the darkness itself, whole and unbroken. The stories they tell will not be kind. But why should they be? Kindness is a luxury for those who have never tasted the bitter bite of rejection, who have never known what it means to be cast out. The villain has lived in that place of exile and found it not a prison, but a sanctuary. It is there, in the quiet spaces where the world is turned away, that you will find your true strength. The villain does not fear solitude. The villain thrives in it, draws power from it, like roots draw water from the depths of the earth. The world will try to break you, to force you into a role that fits their narrative. But the villain is the one who refuses to be shaped by the hands of others. You are not the clay they wish to mold. You are the unyielding rock that withstands the tide. You are the flame that does not die, the storm that cannot be calmed. They will call you heartless, but it is not your heart that is missing. It is your submission. You will not bend your will to theirs, will not whisper apologies for being more than they can accept. There is a power in this choice, in this embracing of the role they have assigned you. It is the power to define yourself, to live without the need for their validation. It is to know that you are the architect of your own fate, that you are the one who decides the shape of your soul. The villain is not the destroyer. The villain is the creator, the one who tears down the false and builds something real in its place. You are not here to be loved. You are here to be remembered, to be the force that shaped the world even as it tried to break you. And when they tell the tales of your darkness, when they speak of you as the shadow that moved against the light, let them. For it is in those moments of scorn that you will find your own legend taking shape, not as they imagined, but as you willed it. The villain is not bound to their judgments. The villain is free, in a way they will never be. You are the fire that burns on, long after the ashes have settled, the echo of thunder that lingers after the storm is past. So be the villain, if that is what it takes to be true. Be the one who refuses to be quieted, who breaks the silence with a voice that rings clear and unafraid. Be the one who steps into the darkness and finds it not empty, but full of all the things they would rather forget. In their stories, you may be the villain, but in your own, you are the one who lived unbroken, unbound, and untamed.